Oh, I didn't even think that I might have to clear off my some space. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely early morning in which the Most High God has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. The reason why I say I'm going to rest therein because the Father in heaven has created me a lane. And in that lane, I run therein. Okay. And in that lane, I don't have to be caught up from the floor up in the things of the world, the things about the world, because I am born of the Spirit and not born of the flesh. So, because of that, the lane in which He has predestined, ordained, and foreknew me is a lane in which He created for me, and it's one that I'm told several times by His Spirit, Deborah, stay in your lane. Staying in the lane means don't get into he that is born of the flesh. Try to ride only in the lane of he that is born of the Spirit. Okay? So it's a big difference, a big, big, big difference. I lay down last night and I got up this morning feeling very good about what I'm about to say to you all because it's where we at. It's where we've been for quite some time. Now, I want to start off with the year of 2020. Things were taking place, and it was every day of that year and the year after and the year after I was given information from the Most High God. And this information kind of threw me off. I mean, it really threw me off. But he always said to me, stay in your lane. The lane is spirit and it is truth. It is a lane in which he is in with me. He has created it for me. And he says, stay in your lane in a form of discipline and chastising me, uh, being so that he has created this lane. And this lane is to always remind me you are in the right lane. I created it for you. You are my servant. And I created that lane for you. Uh, and what has happened is, while in my lane, I received the fullness of what's going on in the world, and it kind of scary. It's really scary because I'm a mother of 6 adult children, 4 men and 2 women, and it's scary for me because being in that lane does not mean my children are in that lane with me. Okay, it means that that's a place where uh, the Father in heaven has created for me. And the reason why I said it doesn't mean that my children are in the lane because this lane was created for me at 4 years old. Okay. I knew that I had a lane to stay in, but I didn't fully understand the lane itself. But as time went on in life, I knew it was something different about me. Sometimes when you're an individual like that, you begin to blame yourself and try to find fault within yourself or try to even be what people say you are. But I just thank the Father for that lane because that lane kept me in my lane and not in their lane. You can have a lane, you're in the lane that the Father in heaven has created for you before the foundation of the world. He foreknew you, he predestined you, he ordained you. Before you was even in your mother's womb, did he create it? The lane in which he has created me to run therein. So I'm like, okay, you got a lane on your left and a lane on your right. People see you in the left and right lane as they are in their lane. But the lane in which I have created for you is in the center, and it is created by my power. So I'm not allowed to really lean a lot of my weight on the left side or the right side. I am to stay in that lane and seek further as far as I could see. Just keep running. I ran track. A lot of people didn't know it. I ran track in high school and I enjoyed it. Um, And in the process of running track, which 99.9 of my classmates might not have known this, I received a scholarship to go to college. 9 months pregnant when I received my diploma. The only female that was ushered a high school, not high school, a scholarship. Yes, I did. I ran track, and I did receive a scholarship. And I was 9 months pregnant during the time I walked across the stage to receive my diploma. But when it was time to give the sports scholarship, I remember them calling my name, and I remember someone on the left and on the right said, "Deborah, get up, they calling you." And I stood up, and I realized I was the only female standing up with all, what, Pee Wee and all of them standing up for their scholarship or whatever it was that they received. I knew I had to stand up because they called my name, and I realized that the God of yesterday is the God of today and forevermore. And whatever He has invested in you, He has invested in you. Nobody on your left, which is family, nobody on your right, which is friends, nobody in the world can touch you. You are who He called you to be, to run in that center lane. And I thank Him because the more He deals with me, now that I am an elderly, He deals with me as track, okay? Running the track. And everything is always consists of staying in your lane. And I thank Him for that because it reminds me the day of graduation, me being the only female stand up for a scholarship. And see, these are the things people cannot see, nor can they grip, nor can they embrace, nor can they understand, because they wouldn't be able to see anything in you. And that's a good thing, because the more I look back at it, I remember being pregnant, but remember being 9 months when I got my high school diploma at the graduation. I remember many strange people hugging me, saying they were proud of me, and so on and so on. And I was so proud of myself because I ran in a lane that no one knew not of. And I look back over my life and I think, being the only female that stood up with the other guys who all guys, all males, I look back at it, I said, Father, no one would be able to recognize till they pull up a video showing what took place that day. I was the only female at Central High School to receive a scholarship. I was the only one standing as a female. And I ran track. Many people didn't know that. A lot of them didn't know where I stood. And I remember running track. And the type of person I was when I was running track and competing is one that when it was said and the gun went off, it was no turning back. I just ran crazy till I learned how to feel the wind. Try to feel the nature helping me natural. It wasn't so much as the nature, it was God Himself ever present with me. My first race, I remember coming in first place. And I believe it was, I ain't gonna say I believe it, I think it was a 220. And I cried because my legs were aching. And I didn't know what it feel like to win. That was my first my first race, I put it. And it wasn't the big event. It was the one where they just starting the season, but we were competing. I mean, I was just running like there was no tomorrow. So I think of how the Father gives me the lane. The lane in which He gives me is a spiritual lane. And it's a lane that He created for me before the foundation of the world. That means to me that I was predestined. I was ordained. I was foreknew. Okay? Before heaven and earth was created, I was already founded in Him for His name's sake. And I give Him glory, honor, and praise for that, because throughout my life, I always had the most, how would I say it, abilities to do any and everything. My whole life, I can look back at and look forward at. Because forward, I have gotten so much victory in the midst of a world that's so dark. But I can look forward because he's forward. See, I can look back over my life, but I can look forward. And I can even see and feel myself to be somewhere. Those that's on my left ain't or not. Those that's on my right or not. And that's why I come to you today to give you something that's very powerful. And I'm going to upload another video because I believe that the next one going to be even more powerful. But it's for those who are in the light. If you are not born of the Spirit, you're never going to understand what I'm saying. You're never going to get what I'm going I have said or I am going to say. You're just out there, okay? And this is another opportunity for you yourself, okay, to block Sister Deborah. So you won't hear her voice. You won't even see her on your page, okay? I would suggest you take out that time. And while you're doing that, let me take out some time to sip this black coffee. Something has happened to me in the last 2 days. And I have joy in my spirit. And I can tell my flesh is like on the sideline. And when I say on the sideline of my spirit, and it's like saying, wow, 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 wow. Why? Because in the last 2 days, my question, because individual wanted me to cover the topic of rapture. And the Father wouldn't allow me to play or to swim in their swimming pool. And what that means is getting into the world's idea of what he has already predestined. Okay? That means that if there is a rapture in God that's founded in his bosom, he would give it unto me to be able to bring it unto you. But he's telling me, and he has told me there's no such thing. It's a man-made, okay, for the church and the administrative position that is of the flesh. And what do you mean by that, Deborah? See, people don't understand. All their lives, they followed the church of the flesh, the leaders of the flesh. They were never, ever, 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 ever connected, okay, to the church of the Spirit, okay? They were never the saints of the Spirit. They never were under the head, which is the world calls Jesus Christ. I call Yeshua HaMashiach, okay? The head is the head is HaMashiach, okay? It is as the world called Christ. Christ is the head, and we are in the body, okay? We're in the body, and Christ is the head. But the reason why he wants me to say to you all that he that is born of the Spirit knoweth these things. And that's who I am here for. He that is born of the Spirit, who might be still not in the fullness, okay, but yet has some pen needle of light to understand exactly where I'm coming from. See, in what the world did, the world followed a building. That's why you got so many churches on every corner. That is the world. That is for those who are born of the flesh. They're going to be in a greater number than he that is in the Spirit. Because he that is in the Spirit was predestined, ordained, foreknew before the foundation of the world. So therefore, he that is in the Spirit follow he that is in the Spirit. He that's in the flesh follow he that's in the flesh. Also, the narrow gates. The narrow gates are two spiritual gates. Praise the Most High God. The narrow gates and the broad gate are two spiritual gates that heaven's already orchestrated. And how did heaven orchestrate it? Is by allowing you that is born of the flesh, there go your gate. He that is born of my spirit, here go yours. But then he came back and said, he that followed the spiritual gate, which is narrow, and very few shall find therein. So I come to tell you that many followed the broad gate even to today. When he enlarging hell, he enlarging it before a people. Melanated, I'm not going to say melanated, Negroes here in the United States and the four corners of the world are uh, the people of Israel and the tribe of Judah, which is Jacob's 12 sons, their offsprings, their families. That's who we are, okay? But we that is in the United States, we are more so the tribe of Judah. And because we here today, not even knowing that we are the tribe of Judah, not even knowing who is spirit and who is flesh, not even knowing that there was a division put in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, separating because the Father put intimacy between the woman seed, which is the spiritual seed, and the serpent seed. There he already informed you that there is two. You see, throughout the whole biblical, the Father tried to get you all to understand he is the potter of the clay to inform you that I, from heaven, orchestrate all things. I cause one to do this one and the other one to do this one. He said, yes, I am, Proverbs 16, verse 4, the creator of good and not good, evil and wicked and evil. I created them for the days of evil in which we are in. You see? That's why it's no turning back. It is what it is. I'm coming back this evening with a powerful message that's going to put a fear in many, but yet it's not going to put a fear in those who are already assigned to the broad gate. What I am saying and everything I'm saying is heavens has already orchestrated where you are on the earth. You see what I'm saying? So if you find yourself between the fence, going try to play both sides, or if you find yourself in the side of the world, okay, on the side of the broad gate, if you find yourself over there, most likely that's where you are at, okay, unless you somewhere along at this end day, which is the where are we at? We in that midnight hour, running up on the minutes. Unless you are going to be, how would I say it, gripped by the Father at the last minute and put in the gate, which is narrow. You see? Now, I want to say this here. It reminds me of the 10 virgins. Neither nor were ready, y'all. Neither nor. I know your pastor told you 5 was ready and 5 wasn't. 5 had oil and 5 didn't. The whole idea was neither now 10 of the virgins were ready. Why would you say that? Because the trumpet had been blown. And that bothers me. See, I'm a student of the Holy Spirit. I'm taught from the wilderness. I don't have to hear the mouth of man. I don't have to hear the flesh. I don't have to sit in darkness to be taught. I'm in this marvelous light where I see things in spirit and truth, not in darkness and their truth, or in the flesh of men and women and their truth. So I am not ashamed, as Paul said in Romans chapter 1. I'm not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of the Father. And a lot of you all don't even know that. You all don't even know who Christ is. You all don't even know who Jesus is. You all don't know anything. So that leads me to boot back up this evening to give you a powerful message. And it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad, but I have to be about my Father in the heavens business. But when I was saying about the 10 virgins, let me see how much time I have. Oh, I have time. I was telling you all about the 10 virgins. The 10 virgins, neither one were ready. Neither one were ready. Because the trumpet had been blown in the midnight hour. The trumpet had been blown, and they went out to trim their light, their lamp. What are y'all going out to trim? If you were ready, your lamp would already be trimmed. What that is saying to somebody that is of the spirit of the Most High God, and is taught of the Spirit, is the Father said to me, see, Deborah, the trumpet was blown and they were not ready. That's why they heard the trumpet and got up to trim their lamps. See, if they were ready, because they are ready, then therefore, when the trumpet was blown, they will be already at the door. But he said the 10 were not ready. The difference of the 10 virgins were a lot of powerful mystery. And the mystery can only be enlightened in those who are spirit and truth. The Father told John in Revelation, he said, John, there's no more time. And that's what he told me in the year 2020. He said, Deborah, there's no more time. I'm like, oh, what you mean? No more time, Deborah. It's over, Deborah. It's finished. And from that time, 2020, to even to today, I am at the 98th percentile of understanding the fullness of what those that are in the spirit should know and should desire, and the food for their plate is a full meal deal from me. You see? And what I mean by that is the 10 virgins, I'm all over the place, but I'm going to get you there. The 10 virgins, they didn't know the example, a parable of the 10 virgins. You remember 5 had oil and 5 didn't. We have to see the oil that 5 had and 5 didn't. You see? What is this oil? You see? It is the anointed of the Father. Is what the other 5 had and the other one didn't. It is not so much wanting you to grip the fact that 5 went into the door and 5 got left. You got to be able to be in the spirit to fully understand these things, which are spirit and truth. And you can't be giving these things to a pastor, a bishop, an evangelist, a teacher, a prophet, a Maureen, a seer, a watchman. No, hold up. When you get into Revelation, he lets John know, wait a minute, this thing, it's over. Time, as it is in me, said the Father, it's over. He said, it is over. There's no more time. And at that moment, I was really stuck on this thing with time and trying to battle. What you mean it's no time? It's no more time. But as he went on, he began to tell me, it's finished, Deborah. It's over. Everything is over. See, we didn't know it was over before it even started in God, because it was coming from a heavenly realm, not from an earthly plan. Now, the 10 virgins, it wasn't that they had all that of their own deeds, working, doing. The all was invested in their lamp before the foundation of the world. Because when the trumpet is blown, which I am like unto a trumpet, and that is the trumpet of warning. Warning! When the trumpet was blown, they got up in that midnight hour to trim their lamps. Okay? Why did the 5 that had oil and the 5 that was without oil, why did all of them go out to trim? Because it wasn't about the outer man. It wasn't the outer man. It was talking about the oil of the anointing, which is the Spirit of God in them. 5 had the Spirit of God, and 5 did not. So a lot of us think this having the Spirit of the Most High God is of our choice, our decision. Your decision was made in the heavens before the foundation of the world was you created, predestined, and ordained, and written either in the book of life or in the books to the lake of hell. So all this role playing, me, is giving you an opportunity today see really who we are. Because you don't understand who you are in the heavens viewpoint. So all of this stuff that everybody is doing, you're doing it because it identified your destiny on the other side. That's why the 10 virgins, their destiny was no oil. They trimmed their lamp when the trumpet was blown, just like the one that did have oil. So they had something in common. Neither were really ready. But because the oil represent the anointing of the Father, rest in 5 virgins and not in the others. I'm trying to get you all to understand. Heaven then showed up and showed out. Before the foundation of the world did he make these elections that he has chosen. Now, I want to share with you, I had to keep up with my time. Okay, I want to share with you only a sneak peek of what the message this evening will be about. And I want to also say that this video is going not just on Facebook, but it's also going on my YouTube page. But I'm coming back this evening with a very, very, very powerful message of it's over. Okay, it's finished. Now I know on my YouTube page, they know of me as one that speak it's over, it's finished. And this is the first time I'm gonna bring it in full force to the Facebook page, but it's going to bring light to those who have light in them. But it's going to bring darkness, not bring darkness. It's going to stir up the darkness that's already in you. Because what it's going to do is let you know who would side you on. A lot of people will hear this conversation and they would run on, just like the days of Noah and the days of Lot. They would go on and live their lives as if they did not receive the trumpet, the sound of the trumpet. They have not received a warning. They had not had any idea what was going on. But what's going to bring them a little different? See, because the Father wants you all to know today is not like yesterday. Even though He's the same today and yes, as yesterday, the things in the way He orchestrated everything is a little different because He has warned us today is like no other. That means we are going in such a dark time in that ever exists on the face of the earth. You all don't grip that. You know why? Because you're taught by the flesh. You're taught by the church that made with bricks. I'm taught by the Spirit of the Father in the heaven, the Creator. I'm taught by His Spirit. Okay? I'm in Him, spirit and in truth. You see? So I am a prophetess in the wilderness because the wilderness is the place in which He teaches me. He has to take me out from the realm of flesh, out from the understanding of flesh, out from the understanding of the minds of the priests, the apostles, the bishops, the teachers, the pastors, the moorings, the seers, the watchmen, the evangelists, the prophetess. He has to take me from even out of the realm of what He have called me. Why? Because He is it all. He don't need me to fall under the flesh. He needs me to fall under His Spirit. Why? Because He have sent His head, and He is in the head. He is the head over the body. The body is the church and the saints. They don't want to grip it. They don't want to believe it. They want to think the body is them sitting up in the building. That's not the body. That's not it, y'all. I, as a prophetess in the wilderness, if you ever really knew what a prophet and a prophetess is in the spirit, you would know that it's nothing like the prophet and the prophetess in the flesh. They are called by men. They are ordained by men. They are approved by man. And Yah has no problem with the flesh of man. Okay? He knows His is on the right and the flesh is on the left. And the flesh will always walk into the multitude as the multitude because it's a gate that leads to destruction. So I am coming back at this evening with a wonderful message regarding it's over. It's really, really over. And it was given to me in the year 2020. And what's different today than 2020 is still it's over, but now it's finished. That means you can run to and fro. You can fake it until you make it. You can sit here and want to be the president of the United States. You can sit and want to gain the whole world, but you mess back. You're gonna lose on the other side. So I, Sister Deborah, say to you, the message I'm going to upload this evening is going to be a powerful one. And it's powerful for me because I know it is spirit and truth. I know it's going to usher in things. Let me see what time I'm on. I know it's going to usher in things that people can't handle today. But that's a good thing because that I give you the chance and opportunity to block Sister Deborah, get off. Because if you are born of the flesh, you don't need to be on this page listening to Sister Deborah because this message is not for you. Okay? So always understand the Father always wants His prophet to know just one. He's not geared into the multitude and many. He knows that He has already orchestrated His. He has already predestined and ordained and foreknew. Okay? His. And he already called it them going into a location called the narrow gate. And then he turns and let us understand, and very few shall find that narrow gate. And it's okay. But I want to cover Judith, the Negroes here in the United States, more so than anything. I'm covering you because the danger of what you're in today. There's not going to be the right hand of the Father is not coming to deliver you. The right hand of the Father is not coming to save you. The right hand of the Most High God is not coming to protect you in the way that you think that you got this. You got this. I'm gonna handle this. We got women thinking they gonna handle this. We got men think they got this. But what we are in this time around is not like no other. We can't even compare it to the year of 2020, 21, and 22 because it is said to be worser. And I believe it because I can hear them pulling up in Revelation. Oh, we all way up in Revelation 14. And they way back in the beginning, hey, in Matthew. And they don't even understand. Oh, we in Matthews too. But what I mean by in Matthews, you far out in the ocean. Okay? You don't even see dry land. That's how far away from truth you are in. So I, Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Shalom.